Everybody is looking to move to the Tampa, St. Petersburg, Florida area in 2023, but there's 3 things you need to know before coming here. Otherwise, it could be the worst decision to make. I've helped a ton of people relocate here, and after surveying for feedback, these 3 things are a commonality I've personally noticed that have made a huge impact on their everyday living once they made the move. By the way, my name's Larry Lanny. I'm a lifelong resident and owner of the Sunshine City Group, brokered by eXp Realty. If you want to know any other information about moving to St. Petersburg, feel free to contact me. All of my information is going to be in that description below. My cell phone number, my email. You can even book a call with me via the calendar link, and we could have a one-on-one tailoring to your needs. All that being said, let's get into it. Number 1. Commuting and traffic. Not unlike any other densely populated area, St. Petersburg has some traffic congestion, especially during peak tourist seasons. Consider your commute to work, kids' school routes, or even other commonly visited places like the gym and grocery store. Let's map this out and let's make sure your day-to-day commute doesn't have you frustrated sitting in traffic. General rule of thumb that I've noticed from living here is traversing the city east and west is going to be pretty easygoing during most parts of the day. However, commuting north and south along main avenues, highways such as I-275, 34th Street, 58th Street, and 66th Street are usually going to be a bit more stop and go, although traffic conditions can vary by location. Another thing to consider with transportation in relation to where you want to live is proximity to public transit, biking trails, your walkability score, all of this to try to minimize that congestion-related stress for your weekend activities. Number 2, cost of living. While generally more affordable than other major Florida cities like Miami and Orlando, it's essential to understand the cost of living here in St. Petersburg. Right now, as I record this video in 2023, the average home price sits just above $465,000 in the Tampa Bay area as a whole. But even researching average home prices for a city as big as St. Petersburg might not be quite as helpful. Prompting a professional to give you a breakdown of neighborhoods of interest to you may help gain some insight to which part of town best fits your needs. Looking into other larger ticket expenses such as the cost of property taxes, home insurance, might give you a general idea, but also consider these costs vary from house to house. Another suggestion, it usually goes unspoken for, is looking at the estimated cost of goods such as grocery and entertainment spending. Are the costs to maintain your life similar to where you're relocating from? What is the average cost for a night downtown, for example? My fiance and I go out to eat every Saturday night downtown. We don't drink alcohol, so granted our bill is probably a bit less, but we generally find that we can have a decent dinner between $50 and $75. Sometimes if we choose to go with more expensive dining options, seafood, steakhouses, maybe upscaled sushi restaurants, generally we find that we can go out between $100 and $200. And then lastly, number 3, climate and weather. St. Petersburg enjoys a subtropical climate, hot, humid summers, really humid, mild, dry winters. We boast over 300 plus days of sunshine per year, which gives us that nickname, the Sunshine City. Be prepared for frequent rain showers, thunderstorms, and plenty of lightning storms, especially during summer hurricane seasons. Speaking of hurricanes, it's super important to consider these 2 things in conjunction with your home. First is your flood zone. Floodplains determine the flood zone that your property is in, which is effectively just the amount of feet the plane is above sea level. And this has a direct effect on the cost of insuring your home. While flood zones like X and X500 don't require a mortgager to carry flood policy, zones like A, AE, V, VE require it, and it can be really costly. A typically provide flood insurance estimates and quotes from my vendors prior to editing any contingencies in a purchase agreement for this exact reason. Another thing most people do not realize when relocating here is that these floodplains aren't identical to hurricane evacuation zones and evacuation routes. In other words, you may be in a flood zone, but you may not be in an evacuation zone. It's good to know this information prior to purchasing a home, seeing as most of the time we're ordered to evacuate even in times when the hurricane doesn't directly come our way. So that's pretty much it, and hope you found some real value in these tips from my past clients' experiences. If you have any additional questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me personally or comment in the video. We post new videos each week, so make sure to ring that bell and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. See you next week.